I'm sorry, sir. You don't have an appointment, and we don't offer that collection of walk-ins. The words were soft, polite, even but sharp as broken glass. He didn't argue. What they didn't know, not for a second, was that they just turned away the man who founded the entire luxury fashion brand they worked for. The one who used to unpack boxes in the back, who stayed late steaming dresses until his hands ached, who literally built the name they now wore on their uniforms, turned away from his own flagship boutique just because he didn't look exclusive enough. And what they saw as weakness. Well, that was the beginning of a reckoning, you know what I mean? Ever been judged by how you look, or treated like you didn't belong somewhere fancy? Drop a 1 if you have, or a 2 if you haven't, but you know you'd never just stay silent. Jackson West was never born into fashion. At 47, the man at the helm of a nationwide luxury brand Varon studio had started at the very bottom. He spent his 20s moving boxes in the back of a strip mall store, learning fabrics by touch, and handling returns with more patience than pride. He built Varon with nothing but a borrowed corner, a few hand-stitched garments, and that stubborn grit only the overlooked seemed to know. Now his empire stretched from coast to coast, boutiques gleaming with glass, marble floors shining brighter than the future ever promised him. But on this particular morning, Jackson stood in his office, high above Manhattan, staring at numbers that just didn't make sense. "Clara," he called, holding out his tablet to his assistant. She didn't need many words. She could read tension like headlines. "Something's off," he muttered. Clara scrolled through the analytics. "Beverly Hills?" He nodded. "Record profits, but walk-in traffic is down by 60%. She frowned. "That's impossible unless," she zoomed in, then paused, "unless they're selling way less, but at way higher margins." She tapped her phone. 17th complaint in 3 weeks. Complaints. Jackson's voice never rose, but his shoulders squared. Clara turned the screen messages from customers, saying they'd been turned away, told it was appointment only, that the store was just for VIPs. Jackson's jaw tightened. "Since when?" Clara shook her head. "No directive. Not from us." He read one review. A fashion blogger flew in from Arizona just for a limited edition handbag, only to be stopped before she even reached the display. "We're not open to browsing today. You can book a session online," she was told. Humiliating. "Who's running that location now?" Jackson asked. "Chad Dawson," Clara replied. "I've tried reaching him. His assistant always says he's with clients." Jackson turned to the window, catching his reflection-sharp suit, polished look, but in his mind he still wore those old rolled-up sleeves. "Cancel my meetings tomorrow, all of them, and find me something to wear that doesn't look like this." Clara glanced up, a knowing smirk. "Going undercover?" Jackson didn't answer. He didn't need to. "It's time to find out what really happens when just another customer walks into my store." The next morning, Jackson sat in the back of a rideshare, old jeans, faded sneakers, and a canvas tote with a Varon logo, so worn you'd need faith to read it. No car service, no designer threads, just another face. Beverly Hills' flagship loomed, glass and marble, more cathedral than boutique. Inside, mannequins struck $1,000 poses behind polished panes, but what he noticed first wasn't the clothes. The open, welcoming layout he designed? Gone. Now a velvet rope blocked the door. Never even approved such a title. 20 silent seconds passed before she even looked up, her gaze scanning his outfit like an X-ray faded jacket, thrift store bag, scuffed sneakers. "Good morning," she said, smile thin as rice paper. "Do you have an appointment?" "No, ma'am. Just passing through. Been following Varon since the early days. Thought I'd finally see the flagship." Her lips twitched. Not quite a smile. "I'm afraid we're appointment only now," gesturing to a gold-framed QR code. "You can schedule for next week." Jackson blinked. "Website doesn't say anything about that." "It's a recent update," she replied, voice icy smooth. "We're offering a more exclusive client experience." "I'm already here. Won't take long. Just wanted to see what's new. Maybe buy a gift." Her eyes cooled. "We only assist clients with pre-booked appointments." He gestured at the stylist behind her, all standing idle, not a client in sight. "Looks like a quiet morning. We're full," she cut in, glancing at his shoes. "We serve Varon Black members, and premium clients. You clearly aren't one. He didn't flinch, but inside? Shock, disappointment, a little anger mostly for what it meant, not for himself. Fashion, he always believed, was an invitation, not a velvet rope. Now, his flagship had become a fortress for the few. As he left, a black Porsche pulled up, couple dressed head to toe in designer labels. Mr. and Mrs. Langford. Brittany beamed, unhooking the velvet rope. He watched, invisible, as they were ushered in, then turned away, her voice trailing after him. Can't have just anyone walking off the street. It's Varen, not Amal. He didn't look back, but they were about to find out exactly who they dismissed. In a nondescript office building 3 miles away, Jackson met with Mark Rains, his head of internal security, and Jenny Ramos, undercover IT specialist. It's worse than we thought, Jenny said, fingers dancing across monitors. The appointment-only rule? Totally unofficial. Implemented by Chad Dawson, never approved by corporate. They're tagging clients platinum, gold, standard not by loyalty or spending but by appearance, cars, social media sometimes, even zip code. Most of the tagging? Brittany. In the last month, 143 walk-ins denied service, while the boutique's profits soar not just from markups, but from referral kickbacks. Every time a standard client got turned away, they were handed a card for a partner boutique. If that client bought something, Chad's team got a fat fee. So we're not only rejecting clients, we're selling them off to competitors, Jackson muttered. Exactly, said David, a junior finance coordinator working undercover. Dual accounting books, referral commissions, fake influencer stunts theaters, even a model who comes in every Friday, posing for photos, never actually buying. All the evidence emails, texts, surveillance was mirrored in real time to Jackson's team. Send everything to legal, Jackson instructed. Get media on standby, but first, I want to see them look me in the eye. 1 hour later, a black SUV convoy rolled up to Varen's flagship. Inside, Brittany barely looked up until she saw Jackson, transformed, tailored suit, shining shoes, presence impossible to ignore. Miss Myers, he said, voice calm, I believe I have an appointment now. With him stood Mark, Patricia from legal, Marcus from regional, and Sarah Jimenez, a journalist, ready to go live. Brittany stammered, we didn't know you were coming. That was the point, Jackson replied. Where's Mr. Dawson? Chad emerged, all forced bravado until he saw Jackson, and the laughter died. Mr. Westwood, an honor, no appointment necessary, I hope. Behind him, the boutique froze, stylists and clients alike catching the tension. Let's discuss this here, with everyone present, Jackson said. He explained, calmly but with steel in every word, that he'd been turned away as a regular customer, dismissed, told he wasn't premium. Patricia laid out the evidence on authorized renovations, fake loyalty programs, referral commissions to competitors, dual accounting, staged influencer photos. A young stylist, Kevin, stepped forward. I tried to report this, but was threatened. Another, Lisa, added, I was put on probation for helping a walk-in. Jackson nodded. Your concerns will be addressed. Jenny Ramos revealed data hundreds denied entry, tagged and profiled, messages where Chad called walk-in strays, selling them off for base commissions. David explained the hidden ledgers, 30% of inflated sales funneled through shell companies. On the big screen, security footage rolled Brittany, dismissing clients for not fitting the boutique, Chad mocking them, Jason Miller, the fake influencer, recycling the same bag, week after week. The staff and customers watched, some shocked, others finally understood. Chad Dawson, Brittany Myers, you're both terminated, effective immediately, Jackson said. Security escorted them out. No one spoke up in their defense, not even the VIPs. Mark handed Jason an invoice-full repayment for false influencer work. As the doors closed, Sarah from the Journal asked, what comes next for Varen's studio? Jackson answered, we rebuild starting now. The next morning, Varen's flagship opened as it once had no velvet rope, no gatekeeping, no appointment policies. Complimentary espresso for everyone, not just those deemed worthy. Standard cards replaced black labels. Above the door, A new banner. Everyone welcome, no appointment necessary. Jackson arrived early, walking the floor, feeling the air change walls reset, open concept restored, pride returning. Kevin, the young stylist, now stood as client experience director. Lisa became sales floor manager. Leadership was restructured from those who'd risked speaking up, not just those who wore expensive suits. The City Journal ran the story Undercover, CEO exposes elitism at luxury boutique. Social media exploded with praise, stories from customers who'd once been turned away, now returning, giving the brand a second chance. Foot traffic soared, but more importantly, the atmosphere transformed. Mothers, students, retirees, all welcomed, all seen. At a staff meeting, Jackson spoke. Every Varon studio will now implement a client respect protocol. Every guest fairness, patience, dignity. Live feedback kiosks go straight to corporate, no filter. The boutique Hamed no more checking shoes or handbags before deciding who mattered. Trust, once lost, was slowly returning. Late that week, as Jackson sipped coffee near the accessories lounge, he watched Kevin help a teenager pick a blazer for his first date. Lisa laughing with a bridal party, even the barista chatting with a high schooler. The boutique felt like a homecoming, not a fortress. A couple came in denim and cotton, not couture shopping for their granddaughter's graduation. Kevin greeted them with the same warmth as anyone. Jackson smiled, to someone who believes good taste and good manners go hand in hand. The man said, "Last month, we were told this place wasn't for people like us. Today, it's different." Jackson replied, "That's because of people like him, not title, not money, but heart." He called staff together. "We built this brand to make people feel powerful, but real power isn't labels. It's how we treat each other. No sale is worth more than someone's dignity. In fashion or life, we don't rise by stepping over others, we rise by lifting them." He smiled. "Next time someone walks through those doors, treat them like they own the place, because one day they just might." As he left, a young associate held the door. "Have a great evening, sir." He grinned. "I already am." In a world obsessed with appearances, let's not forget, the highest standard isn't luxury, it's kindness. Now I gotta ask, have you ever been judged for how you look, or stood up for someone who was? Drop your story below. Let's talk about what dignity means and what we all deserve in both sides of the velvet rope.